Hey, what's up? My first time here. Appreciate the alpha. Oh, Ink Maxi, what's going on, bro? Just wondering, any ratio trades for Ink? Yeah. So okay, let's very quickly go through this process. I don't want to go too late again because these streams I do enjoy interacting with you guys, but I don't like it to be too late. So how would I do this? So let's say I love Ink. So again, what are some of the things that I said? I said I want to look for higher liquidity. So actually, what I'm first going to do is I'm just going to close up some of these charts now, so my computer doesn't just keep whinging. Like, this is the life of a bull market. I can afford to buy a new laptop, but you buy a laptop now, it's like opportunity cost. Okay, so this is where, okay, let's have a look at it against Pulse Chain. But then I'll start to look at it against maybe like some more exotic pairs. Let's have a look at it to Atropa. So yeah, there's not really a lot of liquidity there. Is that? I wonder which USDT that is. I wonder if that's the forked USDT or. Okay, so I could do this. I could just go to Deck Screener and do this, or the other thing I could do is, I feel like this is clear now. Oh crap! What happened there? Hey. I feel like this is clear now. So Puffy, did I follow you? So send me a message now, Puffy, so I don't forget. But yeah, let's go to. So I could just search on Deck Screener, or I could. Oh, here we go. It should be done by now. I should pin this to the top, man. All right, so now I'm going to get the ink. I'm going to paste ink in here. Oops, son of a gun. Copy the ink. And then, why? What? Bro. See, this is now my computer's being so slow. It should be copied, address copied to clipboard. Okay, finally. Okay, so then I'll look through the liquidity pools versal.app because again, I want to find something with thick liquidity. So while that's loading, I mean, I don't like doing the ratios with the core tokens, just personally, except for eHex and pHex because it's the one-to-one. The rest of these, it's like they kind of move together, and yeah, I mean, I guess maybe swapping Pulse Chain for Ink is a good play, and then you could just double it. This certainly looks like a decent little ratio, and you could just double it and then swap it back into Pulse Chain. That could be one. Obviously, there's a lot of liquidity in there. What's this? So Ink to Atropa. Yeah, see this is an example of one that I wouldn't like. I don't like this at all, actually, because there's no clear range. I want to find a clear range. So this looks like it could go damn near anywhere. But having said that, that's certainly extraordinarily interesting that there's a shitload of volume that's happened now. And then look at this. Oh, wow. Okay, hang on a minute. I mean, if you really zoom in, it looks like an extremely tight range, but it's actually like 100%. So, wow, I mean, shit, that might be a cheeky little swap right there. Swapping Atropa into Ink, maybe even just get a 50% move, and then you'd get 50% more Atropa. That's a cheeky little move. What else? What was I looking at? So yeah, come on, bro. Yeah. So anyway, you get the idea. So then I'd look at liquidity pools versal.app. I'd bring up all the ratio charts. I'd look for something where I'm trying to find a clear range. The risk in something like this is, okay, well, what makes it interesting is there seems to be a market maker trying to hold this kind of a range here and lock the price of ink with the price of Atropa at around this area. That's very telling, but it's new. That's the problem. So it could go any which way and you don't know. So there's no clear range here. It's fallen out of what could have been considered a range. You could have considered probably maybe this to be some kind of a range, but it's fallen out of there. So it's like, ugh. But now it's created like a new range, which is really interesting. So maybe it does this. Maybe it ranges in here, and then it keeps dropping and it keeps dropping and it keeps dropping. And yeah, to be perfectly honest, that wouldn't surprise me even in the slightest. That ink would be like, people would be selling the crap out of ink to pump Atropa. Wouldn't surprise me even in the slightest. Oh, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, now touch me, baby. See, just sometimes it kind of crashes out, and then also my computer's just getting a bit slow. But I want to at least show this process since Ink Maxi has been asking. So as this loads up, I'll keep going through these questions. My pleasure, Nuno, my absolute pleasure. I've said those things, man. By the way, do you have any info about the Luke token? I do and I don't. So the Luke token, so that there was a whole range of tokens that, so it was one thing that I was playing around with. So, and I've closed it too. So what I was talking about before with the affection and, hang on a second. So which one is it? Mint. Here we go. So that same thing with affection and pDAI, where you burn pDAI to mint affection. There's also that same thing happening with Luke, and I think it's Treasury Bill. So Maria launched maybe like 6 of these tokens. So yeah, the Atropa, and then so on this website mint.aff.icu, you go Atropa ecosystem, and you go here. So reserve te. So Treasury Bill. So this is another one where, so this concept of one-to-one. So it's that same process with the affection and die. And so they all do this now. So Luke, so Mufti, Tabor, and I think Mufti that I saw Maria do an LP of today. Mufti, Tabor, Ministry, ABCN, ICE, Luke, so all of these, except for Visa, I think. So I'm regularly looking at this just to kind of see if there's any like sweet deal. I haven't actually looked at it for. Okay, so at the moment, yeah, basically you wouldn't do it. So basically you're burning your Treasury Bill to mint Luke. You wouldn't do that because you're going to be losing. See, you're losing value. So in other words, at the moment, the better thing to do, instead of burning your Treasury Bill for the Luke, you would actually swap your Treasury Bill for the Luke. So this kind of idea like is the same. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's have a look-see here. So let's bring this concept into it. Contract address, so Treasury Bill. What USDT was this? Yeah, that's the crap USDT. I think that's the EUSDT. So, all right. So what do we got here? So Treasury Bill. And then Luke. Let's bring up this ratio. Here we go. All right, so now again, we want to price it in Treasury Bill. So no one's doing anything with these. basically it should be based on this, because 1,000 Treasury bill burning for 1,000 Luke means the real value of Luke is actually the value of Treasury bills. So if that's why all these are golden opportunities, in my opinion, which, like, to be perfectly honest, this is something that I should probably start wrapping my head around a little bit more, or at least start dipping my toes. I did start dipping my toes just to experiment on my donation wallet. But now if we do this at 1-to-1, god damn, this freaking must be really annoying to listen to me. Like, I'm trying to like minimize the amount of nose things that I'm doing, because I imagine that would be, you know, you get those noises that are just like really annoying to listen to. I would imagine that would be one that would grind people's gears. So my apologies, I can't help it. It's only at this time, and it's only when I stream with the microphone like this, so maybe it's a microphone thing. So at the moment, Treasury bill, we can see, is stronger. So one Treasury bill is equal to 1.65 Luke. So in other words, you would swap your Treasury bill for Luke. There's like no liquidity here, so you would end up having to be the one that makes the liquidity. There's 232 liquidity, so you could end up becoming the owner of this particular liquidity pool. So basically, you could buy up Luke until it gets to 1-to-1, and then you could swap the Treasury. So basically, you're swapping Treasury for Luke here. So this is a great way to increase the amount of... Wow. Yeah, wow, cheeky. This is actually a cheeky little way of increasing your Treasury bill. So if you can find one of these which actually has a decent amount of liquidity, and you believe in Treasury going to $1, yeah, you swap it into Luke. There's not much liquidity in here. You could probably yourself buy it up to the 1-to-1. Maybe then create like a liquidity position here once it gets to 1-to-1, and then you could swap maybe some of your Luke back into your Treasury and get your initial Treasury back. And then if you're keeping your eyes on the ratios, if it ever comes up here, that's when it becomes profitable to mint. So in other words, your Luke is worth more than your Treasury bill, your Luke is worth more than your Treasury bill up here. So then you would burn your Treasury bill for Luke, and then you would sell your Luke for Treasury bill, because you're going to get more than just doing a straight swap. So it's that same principle as the affection and pDAI that's happening with all of these tokens, which...
When you'd rather enjoy the pool than clean someone else's.
Sweetie, get out of the pool.
It matters where you stay. Conrad Hotels and Resorts. Hilton for the stay.
HEB Organic dried mangoes. They have 3 grams of fiber per serving and no added sugars or preservatives.
It looks like no one's really doing that. So I would definitely have a look at that. So let's go back to the ink example. It's still, okay, so ink maxi, this is what I would do. Interesting. I don't know what these random tokens are. SEO, Unipool for all. That's weird. SEO, Unipool for all. I don't know if someone's like trying to tell us something here. I'm not too sure. So yeah, maybe SolidX, Ink and SolidX might be a good ratio, Ink and UFO. So then in the same way that I showed you how I was looking through those ranges, I would look through these because there's lots of liquidity here. You want to find something with lots of liquidity. You don't want to go down to something that's got less than 1,000 liquidity because your swaps are going to be too small. But if you've only got a small amount of tokens, then yeah, it might be good for you to do like low liquidity. It really depends. But yeah, I always try and look for something with like at least 10,000 in liquidity. So it makes the swapping kind of worth it. I know no nukes, maybe ink to no nukes might be a good one. So this is no nukes here. Also ink to no nukes here. So you got V1, V2. You got ink to XUSD as well. So yeah, man, there you go. So have a look through that process. So hopefully I've shown you enough to kind of get you underway. And Nuno, hopefully now that's clear with It'll be the same with all of these. So that's just Luke, but all of these are exactly the same. So let's have a look at ministry. It's exactly the same. Yeah, so it's the same. So ministry to Treasury Bill, the chart would probably look very much like this as well. So no one's actually doing this. No one's taken advantage of this yet. Couple of other doggoles everywhere we look, Kimbo. pDAI, PWBTC, great ratio to compare against BTC. Exactly, man. Exactly. The ratio, exactly. So, yeah, there you go. So, my pleasure, AOKG. Could do, Gabe. It could do. Exactly. I do not believe for a second that it's going to happen overnight. I do not sit in that camp. I think it could. It definitely could by the code, but they're just, yeah, the whole sacrifice wallets, and they could come and back the liquidity. But then if that's what it takes to collateralize the vaults, the OA, so in other words, it needs liquidity to collateralize it, right? So if the OA comes and collateralizes it to get it to peg to the dollar, then everyone can just take out of it. It's too risky for the OA to do that. Even though decentralized me is like presented a variety of ways that the market can actually interact with it, I agree with his outlook, actually, that not everyone's going to sell. The market's going to do a bunch of different things, but it's still too risky. Why would you put the OA bags on the line like that? Because you're risking not just this possibility of pDAI pegging, but you're risking like the entire blockchain, and you're risking like all of Hex. It's just, the risk is too high. It's too high, and the JEETs are too many. There's just too many JEETs with too many high expectations on Pulse Chain, not just on Pulse Chain, just in the world. So I do believe it can take, if it's going to take years, I'm totally happy with that. So Maria said all it takes is of around the 100K, maybe waiting for a case motion to dismiss. I mean, it has done that in the past, VKH. It has actually in the past, PWBTC and pDAI. It has stayed in the ratio of pDAI to PWBTC. The value of it bonded together is the same as Bitcoin to the US dollar, which is pegged to the dollar. That was very interesting. Hey, Crypto Artie, good to see you in here, man. I'm very bullish if we get a dismissal. I look at someone like Rackham Rochelle, and he's probably got plenty of buddies on the side. Like these guys, if you're a billionaire, you become a billionaire through your network as well. It's not just like, I became a billionaire and I won the lotto and I don't know anyone else that's a billionaire. Like he'll have his billionaire buddies, and there was all these Saudi friends. Like, they're not going to risk their money coming to a blockchain where there's the risk of something happening with the SEC. We saw what that massive dump did. They're not going to risk their billions of dollars, their millions of dollars on a blockchain like this when they can just put it in Solana or whatever else, right? When they can just put it in Bitcoin. Why would they take that risk? They don't need to get 100Xs. But if the case gets dismissed, then I think it's go time for pDAI, because I think all the whales who've been possibly watching, they'll flood in, and it's go time. So we're really like the dismissal, man. Like so much is right. It's like so much is riding on it from a sentiment perspective, in my opinion. So I think like if the case gets dismissed, it's gonna very quickly go to like the 10-cent mark. And I think maybe my video for tomorrow is going to be my next price prediction for the next local top for pDAI. So I'm going to go into that process for the next one. Everybody loves a price prediction. So I'm going to do that. And considering my last ones were like pretty much bang on, I want to see if I can get 3 in a row. But it's going to be a lot harder. I'm going to tell you that, because we're entering into like the hockey stick areas now. So, all right. He paid for views. All right, so yeah, let's chill with the false advertising. So the Crypto Kings, what's going on, Crypto Kings, by the way? I don't know if that's the Moon King or Ian. What's going on, boys? What is the visual platform Maria has, referencing about creating from the Amsterdam interview? He said it would be cool to make a YouTube-like platform of emoji agents autonomously trading to view. I don't think he's built that out. I think that's like years and years away. So it sounded so cool and interesting, but I can't make the picture in my head yet. None of us can, man. I'm sure that Maria's got like a vague image in his mind, but yeah. No problem, brother. Anytime. And as in chill, I mean, not you, but him. Don't do stuff like that. He does have the type of account to bring in that many people, and it's obvious. Paying to look good is so easy to spot on X. Oh, man. That kind of sucks, right? Yeah, because when I saw 60,000, I was like, that's dope. But if he paid for that, Zaki booze. Yeah, let's go for the organic growth. And even on that perspective, Moon King, if you're still in here, Moon King, I want to do an interview with you. I sent you a DM. You might not have checked it yet, but I'd love to do an interview with you one time, bro. Or even if it's Ian, like even if it's both of you, I'd love to have a yarn with you guys. So, doing it organically for pDAI is also the way to go. So even if we can turn the maker thing on, it's like inorganic. It's unnatural. Slow and steady wins the race. This is not these little parables and sayings that we have in society, there is an element of truth. There's no quick fix. There's no such thing as a quick fix. It doesn't last. It doesn't work. So yeah, we can peg to $1, but it's a quick fix. I don't want a quick fix. I want it to happen properly. There's no such thing as I'm going to put on 100 kilos tomorrow and just be beefed up. You got to do the reps at the gym. You got to build it up over time. There is no quick fix in life. Why should we have a quick fix here? It just presents far too much risk. I just want to it's like a diet. You know, you diet, you do a crash course diet and you don't eat for like whatever. And then what happens after that? Then you just put weight straight back on because nothing's actually changed. It's all the same principles everywhere. I just want to get my hands on Maria's beta app. Yeah, once it comes out, man, don't you worry. I seen the Star Wars theme tokens and I was like, maybe I'm doing too much. So if I keep going, I'm going to get wrecked. But now you're bringing this to my attention. I want in. Yeah, mint.aff.icu. So what tokens make dysnomia and is it layer 2? I think dysnomia is layer 2. And what makes it like anyone can make tokens for dysnomia. So I've shown that in previous videos. So just go on my YouTube channel, search how to create dysnomia token or how to create an LAU token, and you can make them there. So Donald Bundy, what's going on, man? Good morning. the neon guys. Here we go. So neon has been doing all right. So it is the Moon King. What's going on, Moon King? We did see this AOKG. We did see this, man. It did get to 60 cents. There was wicks. It was all over Gecko Terminal. I saw it on multiple charts, but Gecko Terminal's been crap since then. So we're all loaded and locked in from what I see, and hopefully everyone is patient. I'm not selling, bro. I'm in forever on this roller coaster. Nice, man. And even, yeah, neither am I. There's going to be people that sell, and that's fine. That's the game. But for me, the alpha is going to be being able to take advantage of that selling volume when and if pDAI gets to $1, instead of being a seller, quickly become a liquidity provider. What avenues are they going to sell into? That's what I'm interested in the most. Yeah, I mean, we have to have our bags packed now. Like really, now's the time. If your bags aren't packed now, I mean, yeah, Moon King, I've been showing your TA or your style of TA, which I've been learning from. That basically something like this, if it bounces off this, then it's really like confirm Moon King style bullishness. So yeah, if you're like, I mean, gosh, if this lines up with a case dismissal, you can't have got a better entry than that, or at least within the last few weeks. I mean, obviously if you got an entry down here, but if the case gets dismissed around here and we hover around this line, you'll never, ever get a better price than this, ever. New epoch starts in a few minutes. All right, new epoch for XUSD starts in a few minutes, so I'm going to jump off. That's it for today, fam. 466 watching. Thank you so much, everyone. So I have started clipping these down. So this has gone for an hour and a half. So this is good. Just after 11, a good amount of time. I clip these up and I spread them out over the next few days. So yeah, please share out the videos, like, subscribe. And then when you see the shorter versions, watch them again, share it out. Especially if you really liked those segments of it. And it's also really good, especially for the ratio stuff. The more you listen to it, the more you watch it, the more it sinks into your mind. But then also do it, actually do it. So do you all see the Pump Fund app coming to Pulse Chain? Yes, we did. I saw that. The Moon King started talking about that today as well. So, all right, Speaker Freaka, my absolute pleasure, man. Hopefully you enjoyed. Everybody, hopefully you enjoyed. I'm going to get onto this XUSD. Take care, everybody. Have a good day. Have a good night.